Hey everyone, this is Corey with Casual EDC, and today I'm going to be unboxing a set of scales from TRM and mounting them to the TRM Atom here. So we're going to use the Atom to open this up. Here are the scales, just a little bit of paperwork in there otherwise. Now these are what they were calling tidal wave G-Carta. So there are some scales in between, some screws in between the scales here. I have never had G-Carta scales before, so we're going to swap out the natural micarta. I think the teal is going to look really nice with these. I have a couple different shades of blue going on. If you've never swapped the scales or seen the scales swapped on a TRM knife, basically all you have to do is take out the two screws, one in front of my middle finger here, and then this one down here, and that'll be the show side scale. And on the back side, you have one screw up top and the clip, and that's it. No need to mess with the pivot, no need to mess with the back spacers. These are super easy to swap out. They encourage aftermarket scales. They release a ton of different options. So I'm just gonna pop these off really quick. As I said, T6 for these screws here. They don't thread in super far, but they stay on with no issue. So quick turn like that, and you can see pops right off. The pocket clip is the only one that's a little bit annoying to get off because you have these screw holes in the top here. But as long as you keep your screws in the clip, it's not too much of an issue, which I like to lay the clip on its side. I hope you can see that over here. If you put it down vertically, the screws tend to pop out. All right. All right, I'm going to use the hardware it came with just in case there's any difference in length between those 3D contoured scales and these flat scales here. Sorry about that. My brother just came in the room and asked me a question there. All you missed was that I dumped the screws out here. There are two longer screws that I'm going to separate. Those are your clip screws right here, and then these are going to be the scale screws. So I'm going to pop these out over here. I'm going to keep all the screws that were used for these scales off to the side, and I'm going to put them in a little baggie probably, so that way they don't get mixed up, and I'll keep them with those scales here. Let's put this side on first. It's a really unique feel to this material. So G-Carta is made by Greg Hansen. This is I can't remember the name of the website, but I will try to remember to link it in the description. But it is basically cross-cut, a lot of cross-cut micarta. It's all different layers of, so in this case, they had some kind of pattern of different blues and whites that they would have squished together. And then they cut it, instead of in sheets from top to bottom, they cut it from, instead of layering it up and down, they layer it side to side. I think that's a better way to put it. And then they cut slabs off of that, and those get milled down into scales. So definitely a super neat material, and they come in all sorts of different designs. One of their most popular ones they call Mexican Blanket, and it's a wonderful color scheme. It looks like a Mexican blanket, as you can imagine. Lots of stripes of color. All right, that's one screw in for the clip. And yeah, these are a pain to do. I like to pick the knife up and come in from the side and drop the screw, apparently. But if you can get through the hole on the side here, that's probably the best way to do it. This driver is not magnetized, and neither are these screws. Come on, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. All right, we're good. Time for the show side. Now I'm excited to see what I think about these scales because I don't really like any of the flat scales on my Atom. They're okay on the Neutron because the Neutron is smaller, but I have since upgraded to 3D scales, some contoured scales on my Neutron as well. And I really haven't held an Atom with flat scales other than my custom scales that I got from Match Anderson, which I'll show you one of them right here. These are made of TerraTuff, but they don't have this angled milling on the ends. They're just kind of rounded off, and that makes for a different feel in hand than these normally have. So yeah, let's see what this is like. All right, so you can see we're still nicely centered. Action's definitely a little bit tighter, that's for sure. That can happen a lot of times with swapping out TRM scales. It was almost drop shutty with those other G-Carta scales on, and it's very quiet. You can't even hear the detent close. I'll bring this right up. You hear that? There's almost no noise. Very quiet. We're a little bit off center now. Not a big deal. No play. It feels really good in hand, honestly. One of the things that I will do is there's this little sharp corner right here, that little nub. I always sand down on my scales, so I will have to either pop these back off or I'll just keep the blade open, and I will definitely take care of that. But these actually feel really good in hand, and they're very seasonal. They're coming up on summer, and I think the teal looks really nice with these. And having multiple shades of blue is really nice looking. And one thing I'm gonna do really quick, I know that a lot of people will take oil, like mineral oil or REM oil, and they will oil their G-Carta scales. So I'm just gonna, for the sake of this, for taking a look, this is just rubbing alcohol because it'll evaporate off really fast. I'm just gonna put a little bit on this rag, and we're gonna wipe this scale to see the difference in color. So that is really the true color of this G-Carta. This is the dry side, and this is what the wet side looks like, and that's already drying up a good amount. So look at that, how deep those colors are versus the dry side. So you can see why people might want to oil these scales. It really helps bring out those natural colors that you get in this material. It dries really fast because it is end cut, but I think I might take these off, get some layers of oil on them so they have that nice bright, well, not even bright, but a deep, rich color compared to what they have right now. Because that was beautiful seeing that, and I'm really excited to give these some more carry. Let's see if we can get that centered. There we go. That's better. Centering's a little bit better there. One of the best things about TRM knives, if your centering's off and all your tension's good, you can literally just push on the knife a little bit and give it a little bend, and it'll go right centered. And there's that action we were looking for. And there's no play. Just like that, we are good to go. So that was just a quick little scale swap and my first impressions of G-Carta. So I'm excited to get some oil on this, make them look nice and pretty. I love my G-Carta scales. They're pretty much my favorite, but I think these might be a strong contender for the next set that'll stay on for quite some time. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you learned something today, whether it be what G-Carta was, the difference between oiled and non-oiled, or even just how to swap scales on your TRM, that's a great thing. I'm glad I could show you something new, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for watching. You guys take care. See you in the next one.